Hello and welcome to this 30-minute meditation for NHS professionals on improving your sleep. We do hope that you find it enjoyable, useful and relaxing. Please share your thoughts in the comments and make sure that you like and subscribe so that you're notified of any new content that we upload. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hope Frost, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the second in this series of 30-minute meditations for NHS professionals. This meditation will focus on improving your sleep. We at SBK Healthcare are thrilled that you are able to join us this evening to take part, and we would just like to say thank you for all of your support during these challenging times. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr Mike Scanlan, mental health consultant for Mind Time Therapies, who will be leading this meditation session. Hello, Mike.
Hi, and really looking forward to tonight's session. I'm just going to get my screen up. There it is. And hopefully you can all just see my slides now. And I suppose, as Hope said, this is a really important session tonight, because I think we all know that if we're sleeping and we're getting restorative sleep rather than just sleep which is characterized by too much rapid eye movements, which is indicative of almost sort of taking your stress to bed, then we wake feeling frazzled. And for those of you who are on the front line, those of us who are working in primary care like myself, for the NHS, those of us who are in secondary care, those of us who are by the beds doing the work, when we're in that level of stress, when we're dealing with that level of difficulty, then sometimes what really matters is that we find a mindful way to improve our sleep. Now, what we're going to do tonight is 2 meditations. And the first meditation we're going to do tonight to improve our sleep is about letting go of the day. But do you know what? While we're in these really very, very difficult times as we are now, we probably need to let go of bits of the day, because we're experiencing the sort of experiences that alert our brain, that cause our brain to become acquainted with a real sense of threat. And as the great Seligman once said, all anxiety is predicated upon a loss of control and a sense of uncertainty. And I think that's dominating our waking time at the moment, isn't it? That sense of a loss of control and an overwhelming sense of uncertainty about how we're going to go forward, and almost holding our breath before we turn on the news in the evening with a quiet prayer to self that the death rate is beginning to go down. And we are in a pandemic, but we're also experiencing across the country an absolute tsunami of insomnia. We are seeing prescriptions for medication like Zopiclone, amitriptyline, and some of these other medications that will help you sleep, and will also come armed with the side effects that accompany them. And I suppose tonight is my way of hopefully helping you guys to find a mindful solution towards actually sleeping restoratively, because that's what matters. Now, our first meditation tonight is called the 3-stage breathing space with difficulty. And what I'm recommending with this one here is there's a great myth that to improve our sleep, we need to do swathes of sleep hygiene shifts and changes. And what we get wrong sometimes is we overwhelm people with everything you have to do if you want to get a good night's sleep. Not true. The two meditations we're going to do tonight, if you guys can practice with them, and Hope and Paige was sharing with you that we share the slides, but I've also sent through both of the audio files for both meditations we're doing tonight. And so when they come through, you'll be able to just put them onto your phone, go and find somewhere quiet. And what I recommend is to do a 3-stage breathing space with difficulty at least twice a day. So the beauty of this meditation is it's literally about 4 or 5 minutes. So when you stop and you get a break, and you must, please guys, take your breaks. I was watching the television the other night, and um, there was a healthcare worker saying, I haven't had a break in 16 hours. That doesn't work. That doesn't work for us, and it doesn't work for our patients, does it? You know, we need to take our breaks. But when we take our breaks, let's use those breaks to actually start to let go throughout the day. Because the way back to sleeping effectively is not just to get through our day and then do something just before bed in order to sleep well. It's about getting better at letting go of the difficulties of our day as we're almost experiencing them. And I don't just talk about this stuff, I practice it. I meditate every day for about 20 minutes, but not in one go. Um, I'll be found doing breathing space with difficulty every day, literally between clients that I'm seeing um, in the healthcare setting. I'll just stop, and in between seeing the next client, I'll stop, switch on the guided recording, and just do a quick 3-stage breathing space with difficulties, because it enables me to let go of stuff. So that's our first meditation that we're going to do tonight. And then our second meditation is the go-to meditation for just letting go of thoughts, but is actually also the most evidence-based and most effective meditation for helping us get off to sleep after a busy day. So let's do this 3-stage breathing space with difficulty first, and then I'll introduce the leaves on a stream, and then let's really enjoy letting go of some thoughts and learning this meditation, which I promise after a little while will help you to sleep. And I've been doing this work for so long now that when Northampton had a Marks and Spencers and department stores, I used to be walking through town or going into a department store, and somebody that I'd probably seen 6 years ago might walk up to me and say, Mike, I'm still watching the leaves. And my wife would look at me as if to say, what's that about? I knew immediately it meant that they were still using the leads on a stream and letting go of their thoughts, which is such a healthy thing to do. So let's get ourselves into a position now where our posture is upright and dignified. And even when you're doing this at work, it's really important to send that message over to your brain that says, I'm okay. And nothing does that quicker than body posture and the mindful half smile. So if I can ask us all to please just find yourself a comfortable position, and imagine that you were looking at yourself in a full length mirror. And as you look at yourself, just ask yourself, am I looking dignified? Is my posture upright? Is there a mindful half smile? And when you've got that, very gently now, either close your eyes or allow them to half close, and maybe just focus on a spot on the floor in front of you. And let's do our first meditation of the evening, a 3-stage breathing space with difficulties. So something that we're not very good at as human beings is welcoming and opening up and just allowing the difficulties of the day in. We spend too much time pushing difficulties and thoughts and stuff that makes us feel scared and worried, pushing it away. But what we're going to do right now, I'm going to ask you to find that mindful half smile of acceptance. And very gently, I'm just going to ask you to consider this. Gently, let's open up and let in whatever's happening that I found difficult or stressful or upsetting. And as we let this stuff in, just roll your shoulders back a bit, open up your chest, get a sense of space, and peruse your day. Allow your mind to open up and let in the stuff that's happened today that you found difficult. Remembering that when we meditate mindfully, there is no judgment. It's just stuff. It's just difficulties. And as you let this stuff in, just quietly label to yourself what it is that you're finding. Oh, there's some feelings of anger. Yeah, I know what that's about. There's some tightness. There's a really unpleasant conversation this morning. There's sadness. There's loss. There's difficulty. And as we let this stuff in, we notice any urge to shut it down or to push away. And we let go of that urge and we just trust in the process of mindfulness, knowing that in a few moments we will be anchoring our attention to our breath. But for now, we're open. And the brain loves this because the brain doesn't like being constrained. And our thoughts don't like being corralled and pushed away. It's like a beach ball that grows bigger and bigger to the point where we can no longer see the view. So we push that beach ball down and we chuckle because that doesn't work. Because when the beach ball gets too pressured, it splashes up, doesn't it? So we just sit and we don't force anything. We just let the stuff of the day in and we sit with it because it's just stuff. It's just thoughts, memories, sadnesses, loss. And it's the stuff of life that comes and goes. And we let go of it now and we direct our attention mindfully and we go and find the anchor that is our breath. And we fix our attention to our breath and we follow the in-breath in and out. And we place all of our attention with our breath. And we use a mindful curiosity to check out with our breath. Where does my breath actually start? Does it start in my chest, in my tummy, in my throat, or just below my septum? And we curiously follow the breath as we breathe in and we breathe out. Just breathing, not changing your breath in any way, not fighting it, just allowing your breath to be your breath and noticing that with each breath, we enter a new moment in this life of ours. And breath is always with us. We can trust in our breath. And attaching our attention to the breath in a time of so much breathlessness reminds us of just how important it is to just breathe. And we just expand and let go of our attention to the breath. And we get a sense as we move into the third stage of this meditation that our whole body is involved in this process. And we expand our awareness around the breathing to the space that our body takes up, as if our whole body is breathing. And if any of that difficulty is still being felt anywhere within your body, classically in a tight jaw, in the throat, in the chest, or in the tummy, just ask you to just breathe in to wherever that sensation of difficulty is lying. And as you breathe out, just let it go, acknowledging that it's okay to feel what I'm feeling. Simply allowing things to be just as they already are. Maintaining that sense of space within us and around us. And just acknowledging that we've opened up our awareness to difficulties and we've let go and anchored our attention to the breath. And finally, we've just used this approach to hold difficult experiences in a wider field of awareness, letting them be rather than fighting them. And as we end this short but effective meditation, we allow our eyes to open and come back to the room. Well done, everybody. Now, that was a slightly longer breathing space because I really felt that we needed to explore that today. The recording that I'll be sending through is literally 4.5, 5 minutes, and it's one to be done 2 or 3 times a day. And the reason this helps our sleep so much is that by the time we get to the end of the day, we've already processed and let go of a lot of that stuff that we're classically taking into our sleep that's causing our brains to overwhir when they really, more than ever before in our lives, we need that restorative, deep wave sleep. So the breathing space meditation gives us a way to step out of the automatic pilot mode when dealing with difficulties and to reconnect with the present moment and our own innate wisdom that we all have, you know. We all have that innate wisdom. Now, this second meditation we're going to do tonight is Leaves on a Stream. And Leaves on a Stream is a form of diffusion. It teaches our brain to become brilliant at just letting go of the stuff of the day. And we can just do quite often during the day, you know, guys, I'll stop. And when I sense that my brain is overwhelmed, I'll stop. I'll find my stream. I'll find my leaves and I'll just let go of some thoughts to clear some space, to return to a place of equanimity. So this is a meditation that's actually best done lying down, but I'm guessing most of us are seated today, and I don't think we want you falling asleep in this next few moments. So maybe I'm not so worried about that. But I'm going to ask you once again just to make yourself comfortable. And let's begin. Leaves on a stream. And we start by noticing that the purpose of this meditation is to get good at looking from your thoughts and move looking at your thoughts. And as you're looking at your thoughts, to notice that you don't need to control or change or harness your thoughts in any way, but thoughts, they will come and they will go without having to do anything to control them. So let's start by just taking 3 lovely mindful breaths. Breathing in and letting go. Breathing in and letting go. One more. Breathing in and letting go. And what I'd ask you to do now is, as you sit meditating, just picture, if you can, in your mind's eye, a beautiful field. Just a field. And as you bring that image to mind, just allow the room around you as you close your eyes to fade away, and to allow yourself to almost get a sense of being in the middle of this beautiful, pleasant field. And maybe it's a warm and sunny day, and perhaps you can feel the sun if you really concentrate on your skin, maybe breathe or smell the coolness of the air. And as you look across the field, you see a tree, and you walk towards that tree, and with each step, you become more and more present. And as you get closer, you notice that the tree just hangs over a bubbling, beautiful brook or a stream. And you sit down next to that stream, and you place your hands on the ground, and you feel the coolness of the earth. And as you sit and you watch the stream that bubbles and passes below you, you watch it flowing around the rocks and the trees, descending downhill. And once in a while, as you watch it, you notice that the tree allows a leaf to fall. And we watch the tree, and sure enough, a leaf falls and seesaws its way down and lands on your stream. And the stream carries that leaf right past where you're sitting, to the point where you could almost reach in and pluck the leaf, but we let it go, and the leaf disappears. And we smile, because it's lovely watching leaves flow and disappear. And we look up at the tree and we smile at it and we say, just shed another leaf, tree. And it does. And the leaf seesaws down and lands on the stream. And the stream embraces it and holds it and carries it. And it floats past our field of consciousness and disappears somewhere off downstream. And now I'm going to invite you to become conscious of your thoughts. And each time a thought just pops into your mind, I'm just going to ask you to look at that thought and notice that it's made up of words and letters. And it might be a happy thought or a sad thought or a scary thought, but it's just words and pictures. And I'd like you to imagine the thought, the very next thought that comes. So smile and say to your mind, mind, send me a thought about today, perhaps. And your mind sends you a thought, and we hold it and we see it in the form of words and pictures and letters. And we imagine taking an envelope and just dropping the thought into that envelope and closing it. And we smile. And we say to the tree, tree, share a leaf. And sure enough, that leaf falls from the tree. And as the leaf begins to move and becomes transported, as the leaf gets just to within our arm's length, we lean over and we just let go of that thought. And the leaf carries the thought away on the stream, and it's gone. And we wait, and thoughts being thoughts, another one comes, because they always do. And as that thought comes, we smile at it. We know what we're going to do. We take that thought and we place it once again in an envelope, and we wait, and the leaf falls from the tree, and we watch it again. And as the stream carries the leaf to within the proximity of us, we gently drop the thought onto the leaf, and the leaf carries the thought away again. And we begin to realize that we don't need to thought practice. We don't need to investigate thoughts. We don't need to get stuck with thoughts. We can let thoughts go because they are just words and pictures and letters. So I'm going to ask all of you, please, just go see if there's a thought in your mind that you'd like to let go of. And see that thought in its written form. And if a picture, if it accompanies it. And gently take that thought, place it in your envelope, smile at your tree, and your tree nods towards us in the wind, and a leaf falls from the tree and it lands on the stream. And as that leaf is transported, we lean over and lovingly, gently place our thought on the leaf, and the leaf carries the thought away. And as we sit on the bank, we notice that we're no longer looking from our thoughts. We are no longer our thoughts. We are a human being that is able to see thoughts as they really are, able to look at thoughts and choose to let go. And as we let go of thoughts, our mind feels safe. Our mind feels clear. Those thoughts are no longer cluttering our frontal cortex of our mind. And we smile and we sleep. And the sleep we sleep is restorative. Just leaves on a stream. Thank you all so much. So the point I think I'm trying to make, everybody, is in order to sleep well mindfully, we need to be letting go of the difficulties of our day in the day. And at night time, my recommendation is use my recording of Leaves on a Stream stick it onto your phones, your iPads, and just before you drop off at night, let go of thoughts. And as you let go of thoughts, and as you get better at doing this, our mind frees up and we start to sleep the sleep of restoration. And that's what we need during these very difficult times. So thank you all so much. I hope you all found that to be useful. Like I say, I've sent through the both recordings to this, and this can really, really help, guys. And you deserve it, you know. Take the time for yourselves, love yourselves, look after yourselves. It really is the only way as we continue to move forward through these incredibly difficult times. And thank you all. And I look forward to our next one next week.
Thank you, Mike. That was a brilliantly relaxing session. I hope that you all found it as wonderful as I did. So I'd like to thank Mike very much for another fantastic session, and to all of you for finding the time to take part and focus on yourselves.
Thank you all so much, guys. And thank you for the lovely, lovely comments, because we're all just giving up our time for this, and it makes it so worthwhile, you know, really does. So thank you so much.